on, people? Welcome to Football Carnage, and we are back with a brand new show right here for you on the channel. A lot of people asked for this, so we had to make it happen. Carnage X Dave, the Galactic Ghost podcast, is here. Big up to everybody that's watching. Make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe to both of our channels, and let us know what you're saying in the comment section. But my guy Dave, what's good, bro? They tried to stop.
What's going on, mate? They did try to stop greatness. Obviously, we knew what it was all about. We all knew what it was all about, guys. Everybody waiting for this podcast to hit the screens live on YouTube, and we're ready and raring to go, people. Just before the FIFA Club World Cup, we got loads to talk about today. So, Will, let's get into it, man.
Yeah, bro. I mean, like, how are you, though? You've been good.
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm living life. Everything's good. I've seen a lot of the Real Madrid news. I'm excited. Everybody's all good. I hope the chat is all good. We're ready to go, guys. And yeah, Real Madrid, a lot of news to discuss. A lot of news. And glad the StreamYard is back up and running, guys, so we can do this properly today.
Yeah, that's a fact, bro. You know what's crazy? I think I've enjoyed this little break that we've had, like in between the last game to the Club World Cup, because, bro, the past season was shit. Like, it felt like a humiliation ritual. Like every week, just getting embarrassed, playing shit football, having to rely on the power of friendship, individual brilliance. Bro, yeah. I mean, I'm excited that, you know, it's now a new era. Got Xabi Alonso coming in. We already made 3 signings. Franco got announced this morning. This week, Dean and Trent were announced and had their press conference. Bro, it's been a real, I'd say, good start to the summer window. Definitely a lot of things that still need to be done. But I can't really complain too much, except for the left back, though.
Yeah, for me, I think looking at Real Madrid's business so far, I mean, I made a video quite a while back saying that I was slightly disappointed in terms of the links being made. And the reason I actually said that was I thought that we were going to get, how would you call it, one big signing, like, for example, a Florian Wirtz, for example, you know, going to Real Madrid, where a player that could fit into the system and really, you know, take control of the midfield. And we've always been looking for a Toni Kroos type player. And funny story,
actually. Do you think Wirtz is that guy?
I think he could be. But he's not really a deep line playmaker. Wirtz.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I think Stiller is more of that player, and if we do eventually get Stiller, I think he could fit into that mold. But actually, a funny story after we got absolutely pumped by Arsenal, and after obviously the viral video hit the screens and everybody was like, okay, this guy is talking absolute nonsense. I went to the pub with Lee Judges, and I saw him outside the game. I saw Robbie. I saw everybody from AFTV, and we all went to the pub and we met this really die-hard Spanish fan. And he's been a season ticket holder since 1991. So when I was literally 1 year old. And he said that Kroos was the biggest player that we missed last season. Forget 100%. About Carvajal. Forget about any other player. Forget about the incomings, the outgoings, every single player that was in our team. Toni Kroos is the missing link. And he made, essentially, Ancelotti's tactics look good. Let's just call it as it is. When he was playing in the Champions League, when he was playing with Modric, when he was playing with each and every single player in that piece, that Real Madrid system, he made everybody look good. The pass that he delivered, for example, to Vinny in the Champions League, example, really.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Like against Bayern?
Against Bayern Munich, yeah.
Well, you know, the thing is, bro, so like that profile is definitely needed in our midfield. I know some people think that, well, we brought Trent in and he'll kind of be playing like that deep line playmaker, but he's going to be more so like on that right side. Now, I don't know what Xabi's going to do, whether 3 at the back or 4, but I agree. I think that we do need that profile. Now, I know you brought up Wirtz, and we were linked to him, and I get it, right? Because it's Xabi
He's a livable man, though. He's a livable man, though.
I did not want Wirtz. Like when he went to Liverpool, I was very happy that we didn't get him. I feel like that would have been a waste of money. I probably would have crashed out on stream if we would have dropped 150 million on a 10. when I have Arda Güler, who's right there for
exactly
Xabi.
that. Exactly that.
Now,
yeah.
when I look at that deep line playmaker role, one name comes to mind, and I don't know how you feel about him, but for me, Enzo Fernandez at Chelsea.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about him.
In terms of, because there was a lot of reports about Galactico, 100 million midfielder, like, so I think like he kind of fits more so that profile. But I would take Angelo Stiller as well from Stuttgart. But you know, it sucks that we couldn't get a midfielder in, but more so a left back, bro, because. I think
Carreras is still open. It's still open there. It's still open.
It's only Fran Garcia that's fit at left back for the Club World Cup, and then we have the academy products like Diego Aguado and I think Youssef, who are going to be there as well. But
the
Alvaro Correa's deal just was haggling.
Yeah, exactly. I think Carreras. I think he's. You know, when I see him play in Europe and stuff, I'm not really blown away. He's good defensively. Don't get me wrong. He's good defensively, but it all depends, guys. And you have to help us, obviously, in the chat, because we still don't know what Alonso's going to play until that very first match. Yeah? Until that very first match against Al Hilal. Yeah? Very first match, we don't know what he's going to do. If he's going to play flying wing backs with Trent and, for example, Frank Garcia, then you have to realize and you have to see on paper, is that going to work? Because it's all depending on the three centre backs that he's playing also. And then the two men in the pivot. Is it going to be Bellingham and Valverde in the pivot? Who knows? Who knows?
But then do you think that Tchouaméni gets dropped? Because you can't drop Tchouaméni, bro. No. I think Tchouaméni is the best 6 in the world. Or he's up there. He's definitely in that conversation.
He's not the best 6. I don't think he's the best 6.
I wouldn't take Rodri for Tchouaméni. I wouldn't swap them.
No, I would. Hey, I would definitely
take Rodri. Bro,
hey.
Like all the links of like about Rodri,
there, man. We
don't need Rodri. We have Tchouaméni.
I would love to see Rodri play, but he's not going to come to Real Madrid. We know that. He's an Atletico man, and he's not going to come to Real Madrid. But Tchouaméni, do you know what I like Tchouaméni for? And you can agree with me, guys, obviously in the chat, and Will, you can agree with me.
Yeah.
His duty is to stay in front of the back line. That's what he is. He is a great, solid, holding defender. He's not a playmaker, nowhere near that. What he likes to do is screen the back 3 or back 4 or whatever Alonso's going to play. So if Tchouaméni's there, who's going to be next to him? Is it going to be Bellingham? Is it going to be Valverde? We can't drop Valverde.
You can't drop it.
What are you going to do? You're going to play Bellingham in it because Alonso does not play a 3-4-1-2 formation. He plays a 3-4-2-1 with the Christmas tree formation, essentially. Yeah. So we're going to play Tchouaméni with Valverde, and where's Bellingham going to fit in? Then if Bellingham's in, then where's Valverde going to fit in? I can only see...
then I think that Jude stays a little higher up the pitch. And I don't think that he actually starts in a back 3. Like, if I'm going to make a prediction, I think that he does. I think that during the Club World Cup, we'll see a back 4. Because I think like that just kind of fits the personnel a little bit more with what we have. Because like, if you look, it's really only Dean and Asensio. Let's not forget, Rudiger is still coming back. He just had that surgery, remember, a few weeks ago. You know, like Militao, I think he's back in training, but
he's back in training, but he's not.
Yeah, so it's like we really only have 2 center backs outside of like
Carvajal's looking good in training. Carvajal's looking good in training. I think Carvajal in a back 3 also will fit. He's played there before. So I think in a back 3 he will fit. But
I you think that we just like start him that first game coming off of a torn ACL? So like
let's be honest, guys. 4. Let's be honest, guys. It is Al Hilal. We're not going to be facing PSG or Bayern Munich.
Dave, don't do that, bro. Don't do that, because Al Hilal are very good. Do you see their personnel?
Yeah, they're good. Don't worry.
João Cancelo. They got like Mitrovic.
Mitrovic's good.
Like Serge Milinkovic-Savic. They got like Renan Lodi. They got Bono. I think they got Koulibaly. They have Ruben Neves. That's a very good team. If we don't take them serious, we'll both be on our channels ranting about losing to Al Hilal, bro. Yo, I've been told, and I'm not sure if you know who Zertalks is, right? But Zertalks, like, he's a Bayern fan, and he lives in Saudi, so he also supports Al Hilal. they are the Real Madrid of the Asian continent. Like they sweep up everything. Like they
big money, big bucks. Yeah.
Like they just got Inzaghi as well. Yeah. So we definitely can't just sleep on them, bro.
Let me say something for this, yeah, because people are saying, oh, he's going to play a 4 at the back for sure, just because it fits Real Madrid personnel. I don't want anything to fit Real Madrid personnel. I don't want it to fit. I want us to go for something completely brand new. And if Alonso wants to do it, and if he wants to shoe it in, this formation, if he wants to shoe it in, let him do it. Let him try it out, at least for a few games. Because, let's be honest, the group stage, Real Madrid are going through, yeah? Because we have the runners-up place, even if we don't finish first, yeah? But that gives us a harder route to the final, essentially, because we're going to face a more difficult prospect in the knockout stages, yeah? And this Club World Cup is an excellent chance for us to go into a pre-season tournament against some of the best teams in world football. Some of the best teams. So it gives us an opportunity to say, look, go on, throw it in a free at the back formation, see how it works. Even if I don't like the sound of it, let us just do it. Let's just experiment with it. Let's put Huijsen there. Let's put, if Carvajal's fit, let's put him in there. If Asensio's ready, let's put him in there. See how a 3 at the back fits. And then put Trent on the right-hand side. Put Fran Garcia on the left-hand side. Put a double pivot of Valverde and Bellingham there. Then put the front 3 of Rodrigo, Mbappe, and Vinny.
Because but I don't really think that he can experiment too much. Like, I feel like he has to get the best out of the players in terms of with what works with the squad. Only because, so like, if this was the start of La Liga, or if this was a regular preseason, then I hear you. But this is a major tournament, right? It's a lot of money on the line. Real Madrid want to take this serious. We need to go and win this thing, right? And I mean, obviously, I think people expect PSG to be the favorites, but I expect us to go all the way. I think that, like, the way that Xabi's been backed, yeah, we have to be a bit patient, but at the same time, I'm expecting kind of immediate success because Carlo Ancelotti, he would have killed somebody to be backed like this last summer. Yeah, so honest. With the tournament that we're going into, because it's not just a regular preseason where it doesn't matter, this matters. I feel like if Xabi goes and if he experiments, and then if we look trash and if we don't win it or if we don't go far in the tournament, then I could definitely see a situation where people are already putting a lot of pressure on the manager. Like, yo, Xabi's not the guy. So I mean, look, we kind of are throwing this manager straight into the deep end, Dave. I'm gonna be real. Like, he has no time for errors. No room for it.
He doesn't, and he's been intensely working in training sessions. I've seen the footage. I've seen various footage and compilation clips and video clips of the training going really well, where the team are consistently showing intensity on their press and everything. And that's essentially what we want to see with Real Madrid. The only way Alonso is going to manifest this into the team is if he plays a 3 at the back. If he plays a 4 at the back, this high pressing thing is not going to work. It's not going to work.
Why do you think so?
It's not going to work because the players don't have the width from the pitch to do so. If he plays a 3 at the back continuously, then we have the width of Trent, we have the width of Fran Garcia, and then we literally have bodies in front of the opposition that are ready to kill you at any opportunity. Yeah, because do you know what? I don't want to see Rodrigo leave to Arsenal. I've got to be honest, because Vinny doesn't do he doesn't track back. Let's be honest. Vinny's not going to track back. He's not going to do it. Alonso's going to say to him, I don't think he is, because I think Alonso's going to say to Vinny, and he's going to look to Mbappe, just stay there, wait for the transition, wait for the counter-attack, wait for our opportunities. Okay. Because honestly, I think with Alonso, we've got to worry about this preseason tournament, but the main worry that I think about the 3 at the back is, will it work against a team like Barcelona? Will it work against a team like Atletico Madrid? Is it going to work in the later stages against a team, God forsake, if we face Arsenal again? Is it going to work against certain teams in Europe? Look, this tournament is a great opportunity for us to see how it will work against a PSG. If PSG make it into the later stages and we face them, like, I want to see it. Don't care if we lose. I want to see the minute details. How is this system going to work with Real Madrid in reality? If it doesn't work, go to a 4 at the back. Go to it, do it, because we just want to see Alonso and how he played against Leverkusen. But don't forget that Alonso, when he plays a different team, he changes up. Sometimes he plays a 4-4-1-1. Sometimes he plays a 4-2-3-1. Sometimes he plays a 4-4-2. He plays different formations depending on the team that he's facing. If he sees a team that's going to be continuously fighting in a low block situation, he plays a 3-4-2-1. But if he feels that the team's going to be pinned back like Leverkusen several times against Bayern Munich, then he would play maybe a 4-4-2 or a 4-4-1-1 to try and counterbalance that. You see? So we've got to play different styles to match different teams. If we're facing Betis away and they're going to continuously have the ball like they did against us last season, then look, it's up to Alonso to decide what to play against them. If we're going to play Bilbao, that we know are really quick on the counter, really quick on the counter. If we know how they're going to play, then we play a formation to suit them.
Barcelona's the main worry. This is music to my ears because we have a Dave. Do you understand? We have a manager that is going to have a game plan. There's going to be in-game adjustments. There's going to be some level of coaching going on. There's going to be a system. Yo, look, and I don't know how big you are. I think that you like the Xabi Alonso appointment, right? Because for me, I feel like he's going to be revolutionary at Real Madrid. I think Xabi Alonso will go down as one of the best managers that I would have seen. And I've been watching as long as I've been watching since 2014, like after that World Cup. So I've seen, Carlo was there. Then I know we had like a couple other guys but it's mostly been Zidane
Benitez, it was Carlo, it was the Zidane, and then we had a string of
then I remember it was Solari,
Solari,
then like the Lopetegui and like that era after Ronaldo left. But point is, I think Xabi Alonso is like on the path, or I feel like he has the trajectory to be a generational manager. I think he's going to revolutionize how people look at Real Madrid.
He's got a completely different style to Zidane and to Ancelotti, our two most successful managers in the last period that we're talking about. Let's just be honest. Champions League winning managers. Can he emulate that? That's the most important thing, because Real Madrid, I don't care what anybody says. I want to see us fight for the Champions League.
That's just a given. You don't even have to say that.
Yeah, but the situation is, if we don't win a trophy next year, Xabi Alonso's gone. I've got to say it.
But he's going to win a trophy next year. That's the thing. There's no way he goes trophy. And I'm telling you right now, what we saw against Barcelona last season, it's not happening again. It is just no way. Xabi will, and again, and I don't know if you want to count the Super Cup and the Intercontinental Cup. Technically, those are two major trophies. Now, it's not the big
minor trophies. Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's not the technically we didn't go trophyless last season. I mean, we ended it trophyless in terms of with the last three, right? We got embarrassed in La Liga, got embarrassed in Champions League, and got embarrassed in the Copa del Rey final. But last season, we did leave with two. I'm expecting two again, but I think at least one of them has to be one of the end season trophies, whether it's La Liga, Copa del Rey, UCL. And I think, like Xabi will be able to get the job done. I have very high expectations for this manager.
I have high expectations as well. But let me just say, it's not me to decide. It's Perez to decide, because he looks at a manager that goes trophyless. We're talking about the three major trophies. He's like, you're not the right one for the club. We were talking about it months ago when Ancelotti came out and says, yes, we're going to go for 4 more seasons. I'm going to be here for 4 more seasons. No, you're not, mate, because clearly you won nothing. And then what happened? You got replaced. So even though Ancelotti has, honestly, in everybody's hearts, Real Madrid hearts around the world, he's there because he's won so much with the club. He brought Real Madrid out of that stalemate of not winning a Champions League trophy for so many years.
Like that was a bit before my time, though.
Exactly. It was a bit before your time, but he brought Real Madrid out of that stalemate. And then Real Madrid have been such a successful team since then. So that was Ancelotti's doing. And Ancelotti's football had never been the most exciting. Alonso's football is not going to be Barcelona's. Let's just call it as it is. It's not going to be Barcelona.
It'll be better.
I don't think.
Look, Dave, man. I'm not worried about Barcelona. I'm not worried about Barcelona next season, bro. Let me tell you something right now. Xabi Alonso is a better tactician than Hansi Flick, right? Like this whole Hansi Flick propaganda that people like to do. He had an amazing first season at Barcelona. The way that they started off was amazing. They blitzed a lot of teams, but then you saw them have that drop off, right? They're too reliant on one player. They are Lamine Yamal FC. Let's be real. If Lamine Yamal is not on his game, they're not really a threat like that.
You could say there's a reason why in there as well, and Pedri's as well.
He doesn't stay at teams for more than but I mean, like I think Pedri did have a good season, but I think Barca PR makes you think that these players.
Pedri's one of the best midfielders of the season. He definitely was one of the best midfielders.
I mean, no, like one of the best, but would you say that he was the best? Because for me, I think Vitinha had a better season than Pedri, but nobody talks about
in La Liga. In La Liga, I think Pedri. Pedri is the best in La Liga. Vitinha is Vitinha, but Vitinha, he's the kind of player that I want to see in bloody Real Madrid. We're not going to get him, but that's the kind of player. It's not going to happen, bro. It's not going to happen, but he's the kind of player, because if I just allude back to before my previous point about Toni Kroos, is that's the kind of player we need to see. A player that's going to literally deliver a pass directly through the center, no messing around with the sideways, backwards stuff, yeah? We want to see a player directly going through the center and really just pass a move, give and go, and then we'll see Mbappe have the ball in his feet quicker, anticipate it, bring the play quicker to the front three, because we just love playing it 60-70% of the game round the defense end. What's the point? We just lose all
What's
intensity.
That song, like that you sing, bro?
Sideways, backwards. Exactly that one. Yeah. So we don't want to see that, guys. What we want to see is a player that's like Kroos, who can just pick up the ball, head up, cool, directly into the front. That's all we want to see. So unfortunately, we don't have that. That's the first aim, is to recruit a player of that liking to Toni Kroos. Yeah. What I like about Dean, what I like about Huijsen is that when he picks up the ball, he drives through the center. We've seen it for Spain. We've seen it for Bournemouth. He loves driving with the ball as a defender. So if he can pick up the ball and literally lays a pass directly into the midfield, then it just irons out any difficulties that we have in the build-up. Yeah? So that guy there, Dean Huijsen, very good.
He's a modern center back. Like, and the thing is, bro, like, it's a ball playing center back, right? And he's very good in 1v1 situations. He's an aerial threat. I view him as the complete center back, right? He can also progress it into the midfield. He does have a good passing range, like you brought up. So out of the three signings that we've made so far, I'd say Dean is the one that I'm excited about the most.
No, because I'm excited about Mastantuono most.
And we could definitely.
Franco Mastantuono is definitely the most exciting. Do you know why?
All right, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interject about this, but
no.
Do you know why I'm so excited about him? He is a player, and it's hard to put in words, but when you have a player where the ball sticks to his feet like Velcro, it's very difficult to get the ball off him. We've seen it with Yamal. We've seen it with Doué. When the ball is literally on their feet. And if he can really produce something that is even 70 to 50% like Yamal does, we have a very exciting player on our hands. Yeah? He's touted as the next big thing coming from Argentina. But guess what? Yeah? Guess what? We've seen it before. Ødegaard, next big thing. Guess where he is now? Nowhere. Yeah, Arda Güler not getting.
He's at Arsenal, the captain.
Yeah, Arda Güler. Yeah, he's trash.
No.
Arda Güler not given the chance, the light of day by Ancelotti. I hope. Yeah, that Arda Güler is given at least 75% game time this season coming up. Yeah, if Arda Güler is a player that can really play with the front two, which I'm talking about Mbappe and Vini here, because I don't know about Rodrigo's liking with Alonso. I don't know if he's the kind of player that he wants, yeah? I want to see... All I want to see is Vini and Mbappe making runs all day long. That's what I want to see. I just want to see them two making runs and then have the creative spark in the midfield to pick them out. If we can do that, then I'm happy. Because Arda Güler is the type of player that can do that. Yeah? Trent, those diags that he does, those diagonal passes, if he can pick out Vinny a couple of times a game, we're going to have opportunities after opportunities after opportunities. Because Trent is the kind of player. Yeah? And after Franco Mastantuono, I think Trent is the most exciting for me because, yes, he has a big weight on his shoulders. He's stepping into Real Madrid boots here. Let's not forget. But Trent, his passing vision, everything that he offers is just the best. And I would love to see him feature.
But you know, like what the thing is, though, Dave.
Properly.
So the reason why, and again, so I'm excited for all three of our signings. I like what we've done so far. I actually wish that Franco would have been here for the Club World Cup, since that's essentially our preseason. I would have liked for him to get embedded into the system from now versus having to wait until August and La Liga kicks off. But the reason that I'm saying that I'm more excited for Dean, right? So one, Trent, phenomenal player, right? One of the best passers in the world. And I think he's going to help us massively. I think Xabi Alonso is going to make this guy like look so much better than we did. I expect a better version of Trent than what we saw at Liverpool. But the thing is, though, I kind of already know what I'm getting with Trent, right? Like I don't think there's going to be too much that will surprise me. Now, when it comes to Dean and Franco, who are super young and they haven't even reached their peak, that's what excites me a lot more, is to see what they develop into. Now, the reason why I'm more excited about Dean than Franco is because for me, Franco was a luxury signing, right? We don't really need that profile. We saw that PSG were about to sign him. PSG look like an amazing team right now. You can't let them get this baller with what they got going on. So we come in, we hijack the deal, but Dean was a necessity. We needed him. We needed that center back. And I view him as a player that, again, we talked about his attributes. Modern day center back really doesn't have any weaknesses that I've seen so far. And he could be the leader of our defense for the next decade. So, like, that's what excites me more, because it does fill a position of need. Whereas Franco, look, again, I've never watched River Plate. I don't even know if I can watch them in America, bro. I might have to find like one of those websites where you got to click the play button like 40 times.
And then you end up in an X-rated site.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's asking me like if I want to meet up with hot grannies in my area. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, I'm excited for Franco. But like Dean's just like, once we announced Dean, like that just did something to me. Because again, our center backs are old, except for Asensio. And I don't like Jacobo Ramon either. I feel like
Ramon is he's basically a Ramon. That's what he is. He's that's what he is, mate. Just call him a Ramon. That's it. Finish. Easy. Because I think Huijsen, he's I don't want to put too much pressure on him though. As a Real Madrid fan, Real Madrid fans shouldn't put too much pressure on him. He's great talent. He's very young, good prospect for the future. We just need to let him settle in. That's all. You know, let Rudiger be the experienced head for him. You know, let Militao be the experienced head for him, and let Asensio and him just play as they want to play. Because you know what? Like I said before earlier, Carvajal can slot in centre back in a back three. He's done it before. Very good, Carvajal as a centre back. Yeah, in a back three, not as a back two, because I don't think he fits that profile. But the back three can really work wonders. And him also, experienced head, can show Huijsen the way. So there are certain profile players that we have in our team that are great. Like I said, I'm really excited about Mastantuono. I'm really excited about Trent. And I'm really excited about Huijsen also. But it's all about Xabi Alonso, how he's going to fit the pieces into the team to make the team work. And for me, if I was choosing a starting 11 people, this is what I would go for. I'll go for Courtois. I'll go for Trent, right wing back. Okay. And I will go for, if Carvajal's fit, I'm not sure.
You want to build it on stream? Because we could build it right now if you want.
Mate, we'll say it as it is. I'm going to say it as it is, mate. Just
I mean, look, like, we could build the 11.
Mate, well, you could bring it up as well. But for me, I'm looking at Courtois. I'm looking at Courtois in goal. I'm looking at Trent, right wing back. I'm looking at Huijsen. If Carvajal's fit, then so be it. Let him play centre back with Asensio, or if Militao is fit, let him play centre back with those two as well. Left wing back going to be Fran Garcia. That's the only position that I look at depth, and we really need to see depth in that squad. So obviously, left wing back is 100% something that we need to do.
All right, so then, like, what are you saying, bro? What? So what is this? A 3? What?
We do a 3-4-2-1.
3-4-2-1.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
so
there is. So we got.
Yeah. So I do agree, right? Courtois needs to be there. Best goalkeeper in the world, in my opinion. I actually think that Courtois was our player of the season. Because if it wasn't for him, bro,
I think Valverde probably was the player.
You think Valverde? See, but the thing is, though, like the amount of saves that this guy made, like last season, if it wasn't for him,
he made it respectable. The score lines,
yeah, bro, he would have been, bro. Like that Arsenal aggregate would have been like 8-1. They would have absolutely embarrassed us.
Yeah, it would have been
crazy.
All
right. So Courtois, you're saying right center back.
So Dean Huijsen as probably the
left. I'm thinking the left, right?
Yeah, probably left center back. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's get Dean up there. Wait. Okay.
See. There's it. There is.
Fine. Then would you say Asensio?
Then probably Asensio. It depends if Rudiger's fit. If Rudiger's fit, then he's definitely going in the center.
All right. Hold on. Wait. So. Are you saying this is what you want to see next season, or
if I'm seeing on paper for La Liga, then I'll put Rudiger in the center. Absolutely.
Okay. Because let's assume that everybody's fit for this. Like, let's say that
Rudiger in the center. Yeah, Rudiger in the center. Absolutely.
Okay. So Rudiger, and big up for the super chat, brother. I see it. Just give me 1 second. Let's just run through this real quick, and I'll bring your super chat up. Thank you, though.
Then, do you know what? I don't want to see Militao unless he can compete with Asensio. I think Asensio was one of our brightest players.
I do want to see Militao in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. For Al Nassr or something. I don't want to see him for Real Madrid. Brother, this guy has torn his ACL in back-to-back seasons. Dave, Militao is cooked.
Yeah, okay. Let's put Asensio there.
Ever return to what he was. I'd say maybe... Like that 22 season was pretty good from him.
Let's put Asensio there. I'm gonna say Asensio.
Yeah, it has to be Asensio. Bro, him and Alaba need to be forced out of the club. I'm gonna be real. Like, and yes, they have a contract. So legally, if they want to stay, there's nothing we can do. But if I was Madrid, I would say, look, listen here, brother. This is a World Cup year. If you do not leave this club, you are not playing a game for us. We will have you training with the under sevens. We'll have you babysitting every week, brother.
Yeah.
Like you're never gonna play. Leave the club, because I don't think that we're gonna sign another defender unless one of them leaves, especially Alaba. Bro, he's like our third highest paid player.
But what I'm saying here also, if Asensio's not the guy for this, and if Alonso sees Carvajal to be that third center back on the right hand side, I'll put Carvajal, because Carvajal is technically our most gifted all-round defender. He is so good even in aerial ability, he's good. I know he's short, but in aerial ability, he's good. Everything about Carvajal is such he is a sensational footballer. I love him. But obviously,
Carvajal is a very good player. He's been a great servant at the club, one of the best right backs that I've seen. But
I don't know about his injury. I don't know his injury if he's affected.
I don't think. Yeah, but the thing is, because let's not forget, this was supposed to be Carvajal's last season. And then remember, when he tore his ACL against Villarreal, we extended his deal like a few days later to let him recover and, end on a better note.
Yeah.
I don't think, especially with what they told Luka Modric, we want to usher in a younger era of Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I don't think that Carvajal will start games. I think he will start, but not week in, week out. I think he'll be rotated in. I feel like Asensio should definitely be given more priority at right center back.
Absolutely.
And then, you let Carvajal and Trent rotate at the wing back, right? And then because again, I just don't think he's going to be able to reach those levels.
I think then, call it as it is, put Trent then on the right wing back, because I think that's where he's going to play.
I agree.
I think Trent is definitely going to play there.
Yeah, let's run it. Okay.
And then
left wing
back's Fran Garcia, because he's the only one we have.
We
desperately need one, guys. We just desperately need another left back. Let's just call it as it is. Perez just needs to recruit defenders. Let's just call it as, because last season I don't want to repeat against.
So in like a dream world, it's never gonna happen. But in a dream world,
Mendes.
No. Well, yes, I would take Mendes, baller, but Vardiol from Man City. Oh my god, I think he's a phenomenal fullback, bro. Like, and I know he's more of like a center back. But at left back, you saw the goals that he cooks. Like he's an absolute monster of a player, bro. And they're signing Ryan Aït-Nouri. You know what I'm saying? Look, if Man City get found guilty, we should be there for the City sale.
Yeah.
Because he's a phenomenal player. But I mean, like the Alvaro Correa news doesn't it doesn't really move me, Dave. It doesn't really move me. Like,
do you know what? I do want to see potentially if we can ever get him. If it's a possibility in the future, then go for it. Gutierrez. I think Gutierrez from Girona.
From Girona, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's ex-product of Real Madrid.
Buyback clause.
And that's it. Why not get him? Why not get him? Because I'm sure the chat agree as well. Miguel in this team will fit like a glove, especially as a wing back.
Because don't they run the back three this season at Girona? I swear he's played from like wing back.
Yeah, okay. But do you know what? Like, Sensei says he's going to Napoli. Is he? Is he going to Napoli?
So originally, I saw some reports saying that he was going to Atleti, but then like that move collapsed. And yeah, I think Napoli are in for him. Big up to Ejovi says, LOL, you all need to collab more.
Well, it's every week, guys. It's twice a week.
But for those of you who are wondering,
it's twice a week.
It's a brand new show. It's twice a week. So this was supposed to be on Thursday, but StreamYard was having issues, so we rescheduled it. But Thursdays, it'll be on my channel. Mondays, it'll be on Dave's. So it will be twice a week, people. Don't worry.
Basically, what's happening, guys, is that on Monday, when La Liga season kicks off, it's basically all the reactions to the results. And then on Thursday, then we do all the previews for the upcoming games on Will's channel. So hopefully that's cleared it up, guys, obviously, for you. But just going back to it, yeah, absolutely. I think Gutierrez, will be an excellent buyback. But if he's going to Napoli, then we'll see it. And yeah, Vasquez, please just remove him. He would be a good wing back, though. I don't think he'd be too bad as a wing back, Vasquez.
I mean, well, he's a right winger that's been forced to play right back because I think since like Orgiozola, we just haven't addressed getting Danny Carvajal a proper backup. So,
yeah.
So, so now, like, what are you saying for like the pivot?
Okay, so I'm not sure what you guys agree, guys, in the chat, yeah. But for the pivot, I would love to see defensively minded players there in the pivot. But
I mean, Jude, Valverde,
and Valverde are both of them defensively minded as well. But,
like because like they're just three engines. It's like they're runners. They're runners.
Yeah, but Tchouaméni's not so much of a runner. He is more of a
destroyer.
He's a destroyer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then you got Camavinga also that can fit in there. Yeah, but Camavinga, I don't know. I'm not Alonso. Different players suit different managers. Let's be aware of this, guys, because you could have one player that is absolutely horrendous under Ancelotti. The same player would be amazing under Zidane, and then that same player would be world class under Xabi Alonso.
For me, Camavinga was shit last season, though.
Exactly. For me, as just a purist in terms of footballing ability, I would have to put Jude Bellingham and I would have to put Fede Valverde.
So Jude
in the midfield.
Okay.
Yeah. Valverde has to be in the midfield with Jude Bellingham. If those two are there, then I see we have no problems there.
Yeah, I mean, like there was also reports saying that Xabi does view Jude as a deeper midfielder. And a lot of people are super shocked by that. But it's like what people tend to forget is that Jude is an 8.
Yeah.
The only reason that Jude was playing as a 10/9 is because Benzema left. Remember, if Benzema was still there, Jude would have been what he was his whole career, a box to now. And that's where I give Carlo credit because Carlo did have a tactical masterclass with that Jude positional switch. But he's just going to go back to what we originally brought him to do. So it's not a big deal him being in a pivot, and I mean, look, he'll still crash the box as well. It's it's not.
Yeah, he will overlap 100%. But Valverde then is going to be the deeper lying midfielder, and if you see that on paper, apart from Fran Garcia, if you look at that whole, if you look at the whole mid line there, if you look at it, like Trent, Valverde, Bellingham, Fran Garcia, I mean, it's decent on paper. Obviously, we would love to strengthen the left wing back, but if we don't, then we'll just need to see what happens there. But then if you go at the front and you look at the front there, so a 3-4-2-1 can either be played with 2 attacking midfielders or 2 wingers. Alonso prefers to play with the wingers because then it creates natural overlapping paths for the right wing back.
All right, so then Dave, hear me out then. Hear me out. What do you think about Rodrigo left wing back? Think about it. Rodrigo prefers to be on the left. And in terms of our front three with him, Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo tracks back the most anyways. What do you think about him in that left wing back role? I think that could be his only way of starting in this new, like with Xabi Alonso. If
he's not a left footer though, and that's a problem.
But you know that left wing Rodrigo is very much different to what you see on the right.
Yeah, it would be good, but then you could also have Camavinga there on the left wing back position as well, because Camavinga can fit there.
Well, yeah, but then you can have them just rotate in. You know, you do need squad depth. Yeah. We're gonna go deep in every competition. I just don't really rate Fran Garcia enough to be starting for us. I think like again, in this wingback situation, I think Fran Garcia will do a very good job. You know, he's very good going forward, great crosser of the ball, can link play in the final third. So like that's fan, but I just view him as a rotational piece. Like he should not be starting week in, week out for Real Madrid. So I'm looking at the names that we have. I think Rodrigo or Camavinga at left wingback would cook.
Yeah. If you look at and it was a very good video, I think by I forgot who it was now on YouTube. He was explaining how Alonso's team, they rotate the defense and midfield. So if you look at Dean Howson there, you look at Rudiger, you look at Asensio, you would see the midfield doing basically a rotation. So you would see sometimes Trent, depending on the position of the ball, you would see Trent sometimes dropping into that back four, maybe Dean Howson going as a temporary left back. You would see if we had the ball on the right-hand side, you would see Fran Garcia dropping just there onto that into the left back position. So it would create a flat back four. And then you would have Trent, Valverde, and Bellingham rotating the ball. You see? So that's how Alonso's team play, and it's a very good. I forgot the video. I would love to share it with you guys. I completely forgot. I need to search it up. But essentially, Alonso's teams, they rotate depending on how the position is, depending on the how the ball is dictated on the pitch. The actual back line rotates and consistently switches over. So you would have, especially in attacking areas, sometimes a back four. And if we are flying up and we are going on an attacking end, then you would see the 2 wing backs then consistently overlapping. And the way it works essentially with Alexander-Arnold is that if Rodrigo was on the right-hand side, you would see them 2 link up. If Vinny was on the right-hand side, in the left-hand side, you would see Fran Garcia linking up. So then you would have freedom of movement essentially in the midfield. So for the left attacking mid or left wing position, 100% would be Vinny, because
yeah.
Do you know what? One of the players, and I've got to say this to you guys, and I've mentioned it in my video just recently that I dropped. I want to see Vinny have an amazing season. If Vinny has a really good season, he would just literally prove me wrong. Yeah, because I don't know what happened last season with Vinny. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not sure what happened. He was not himself at all.
Do you think that Vinny was shit last season? Because I actually think he was decent. Second half, he was awful. But the first half, up until like that Ballon d'Or.
The Ballon d'Or, the suspension.
Like Vinny was good up until then.
Suspensions, a few knocks here and there, causing him to miss games. I think Vinny overall, I think he just ran his course last season. I don't know why he was that bad. And I want to see a completely if we have a resurgent Vinny, guys, I think Real Madrid can cook again this season, honestly, because he needs to be one of the focal points, because I see him just having freedom to roam up front with Mbappe. And obviously Mbappe is going to be the striker, but I want to see him to have freedom to roam as an attacker. Just give him freedom. That's it. And then I want him to see directly run. I don't want to see him consistently over skills and everything. I want Alonso to iron that out of him. I want him to see him directly run at the defense. Like Yamal. Yamal doesn't use skills like 90% of the game. Vinny's always looking to use skills. I just want to see Vinny run. You understand? I don't want to see him consistently trying to overwork the ball, overtouch the ball, because his first touch last season was abysmal. Abysmal. He needs to work on that. Yeah. Rodrigo's first touch is immaculate. He has the first touch of Velcro, honestly. But Rodrigo, what he lacks is that intensity to just go for it. You understand?
Yeah, I feel like Rodrigo is a very passive player.
He's passive, yeah. He's passive, yeah.
Like in the final third, he's not. See, like the thing is, like, and I think Vinny does do what you're kind of looking for. Like Vinicius does attack defenders, in my opinion. And this is why, you know, sometimes like he'll try things, it doesn't work, and then people end up like trying to cook him for it. But I view Vinny as a very direct player. Like I feel he like for example, look at what he did to like Joshua Kimmich the season before last in the UCL semifinals. Absolutely killed him, right? Like Vinicius is very aggressive, and I think a lot of people were a little too harsh on him last season because in the first half, when Mbappe was dropping stinker after stinker, Vinicius was our best player. And then the Ballon d'Or situation happened, and then once we got to like January, Vinicius fell off a cliff. Yeah. So that really brought him down, in my opinion. But I do expect him to get back to his best. I think this is Vinny's team. And in my opinion, like, I don't think Jude, Mbappe, like, none of our attackers, for me, is above Vinicius. Because none of them have carried us how he has in, like, those UCL knockouts. Like, Mbappe, fantastic signing. Maybe you could say he's a better player. But for me, Mbappe is not above Vinicius in this Real Madrid pecking order for me. So, like, if there was ever a dispute between the two, and if I had to get rid of one, Mbappe can go. Because Vinicius has done a lot for us. And I feel like everybody's so quick to turn on him. People want him to get sold this summer. There's people that don't even want him to get a new deal. I feel like people just have such short memories, like how quick you forget.
I would, you know, what happily say that Vinny is one of our most exciting players when he gets the ball. Yeah. When Vinny gets the ball, you don't know what's happening. Let's just put it as it is, because he could go past 3 players and you don't even know what's happening. Literally, yeah. So he needs to show that explosiveness that I saw against Dortmund. Yeah, that performance against Dortmund was sensational. When Dortmund were pinned back and he was just going past guys for fun. You understand? So that's the kind of Vinny that I want to see. Yeah. And for me, Vinny, right-hand side, I've got to say it, guys. I've got to say it. I love Rodrigo. I love him to bits. But the situation is that is he an Alonso man? Does he have the creativity in his locker to unlock Mbappe? I don't think he has. I would rather see Arda Güler on that right-hand side. I've got to be honest.
I agree.
I would rather see Arda Güler on that right-hand side because Arda Güler, he's young, he's fresh. Obviously, Rodrigo's not old by any means, but he's hungry. Arda Güler's hungry to play. And when you have a team that loves to play a low block, and look what happened when Arda Güler started playing the last few games of the season, you saw a different Real Madrid. You saw the tempo was quicker. You saw us moving the ball faster. You saw us being a bit more direct. When Arda Güler picks up the ball, he doesn't look backwards. Yeah? He either looks next to him or he looks in front of him.
Yeah.
And if he sees a gap, he's going to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's like that's one of the main things that was my issue with Carlo was I feel like it was 2 years of artist development wasted because he should have gotten a lot more game time. And I feel like Carlo, the last 2 seasons, didn't really start playing him often until the season was basically like over and there was really nothing left to play for. But Arda is a very good player. I think that his potential is through the roof. It's like I told you earlier, bro. This is why I didn't want Florian Wirtz. Well, like, what do I need a Florian Wirtz for when I have an Arda Güler? I think Arda Güler is a generational talent. But he just hasn't had the opportunities to prove himself.
But let me say something. If Mastantuono gets into something kind of a groove or whatever, and let me just tell Alexa to stop the music because I didn't realize it was playing in the background.
And that's all good, bro.
Okay, so I didn't know because it's our 6 o'clock routine. So basically, if Mastantuono gets into a flow and into a rhythm, if Alonso likes him as a player, he's going to be on that right-hand side. Trust me. Because
but do you think starting though? Because I can't see
He won't start. He
Franco
won't start.
walking
He won't
into
start.
Madrid's 11.
He won't start. I know.
Yeah, but I say,
But
bro, again, and this is what I like about Frank. I'm sorry about Xabi, because I think Xabi's gonna use the youth. I think Xabi is gonna be known as that Real Madrid manager that brought through academy products, and people don't know this, Dave. Yes, our academy might not produce world-class level players like La Masia does, right? But our academy is very good. We generate the most money from selling our players, right? Look at Miguel Gutierrez, Nico Paz, Hakimi, right?
Nico Paz, I would love to see return back, by the way. I would love to see Nico Paz return back. If Paz can return,
but now, like with the addition of Franco, where's there room for Nico?
Yeah, it's true. That's the thing. That's what I was reading. He says, because if Mastantuono, and he has joined the club already, then there is no room for Nico Paz. But Nico Paz has proven himself to some worth in Como. So I think ultimately Franco is just a player that's been brought in because he's shown he's worth a rib play. He's been proven to be one of the next generation of Argentinian superstars to come through. And his ball technique, everything about him.
He's a good player.
He is such a great player and a great prospect. But
do you know, like,
Endrick was a great prospect. Endrick was a great prospect.
Yeah.
Endrick's a great prospect.
Dave. Like, so Nico Paz will end up being like a Hakimi, where looking back at it, right? People say, "Oh my God, look at Real Madrid not giving their youth a chance. Hakimi's the best right back in the world," right? But you got to remember, I don't think Hakimi would have been okay with just being a backup for Carvajal. Remember, Carvajal's still at the club. So Hakimi would have been a backup for like the last 5 seasons versus going to Dortmund, developing for those 2 years, going to Inter, continuing, and then now ends up at PSG. Nico Paz is in a similar situation because he's a player that we can all see has immense talent. But the midfield is just so damn stacked that where is he going to get in? Because you're not going to displace Valverde, Camavinga, Jude, like Vinicius. Arda Güler's ahead of him. We've now brought in Franco, who is going to be ahead of him technically. So I think what ends up happening is, right, there's a lot of interest in Nico Paz. I think Real Madrid activate his 8 million buyback clause, and I think that we sell him for about 40, 50 million. And then I think we add another buyback clause in the deal because I saw something about Leverkusen wanting Nico Paz as the Florian Wirtz replacement. I think like that's something that we'll do, and just like what we should have done with Hakimi, just add another buyback clause just in case. But I just don't think he comes back, bro. It's just no way.
True. Yeah, but look, I think just generally, if I look at that team there and we're looking at it on screen, because what I realized about Arda Güler, and his IQ is brilliant. What he likes to do is if the team looks like they're losing control of the ball, he just drops deeper naturally. He drops deeper, he drops into the hole, he drops into the gap between the midfielders and likes to work it. He knows how to work the ball from deep. He knows how to work the ball in the final third of the pitch. And that's the most important thing, is a player that has good football IQ. Huijsen has good football IQ. Trent has immaculate football IQ.
Yes.
Apart from his defensive attributes, which still need to be worked on a little bit. But he has excellent football IQ. I would love to see Trent delivering perfect corners because may I remind you that our set pieces are going to improve with Trent there. We've had a problem, but since Cruz left, our set pieces haven't been the best. Our corners sometimes fail to go past the first guy. Arda Güler to deliver the corners from that right-hand corner flag, and then Trent to deliver it from the other side. You see, or Trent to do both for them because he can put it as a pinpoint onto someone like Rudiger or Huijsen if they're arriving, or Asensio who's very good athletically, or Jude Bellingham who's good athletically. The reason that Inter went really far in the Champions League until they got absolutely pumped by PSG because they were a very physical team. You understand? So they got really stuck in there. But we don't naturally have a clinical target man. Mbappe, who've just put on the screen,
that whole
is not a target man.
that we're missing.
He's not. And a Hosselu type player to get stuck in dirty. Yeah.
Budimir.
Mm.
Go. Yo, Osasuna. I think he's like 33. Has an 8 million release clause, bagged 21 goals last season. I think he's like 6'3", 6'4". Go get Budimir. Because the dream for me would be Sorloth, right? But we're not playing.
Yeah, it's not going to be that.
Yeah. Like, it's not FIFA. So Sorloth is not a possibility. I don't think so. But
yeah,
if you go get a Budimir, right? And big up to Guillermo, gonna read a super chat in just 1 second. I'll put it back up on screen. But you go get a Budimir, somebody that's a change of pace off the bench, because all our attackers are kind of short, except for like Jude, who's about 6'1". But Mbappe's like 5'10". Vinny's like 5'9". Rodrigo's 5', and then Endrick, you bring him off the bench, he's like 5'8". So it doesn't really offer you anything different. Whereas when Oselu was coming off, right, we're whipping crosses in, you now have an aerial threat. Last season, we're whipping in crosses to nobody. But Dave, let me get your opinion on this super chat. Big up to Guillermo, says, Real Madrid don't need an Mbappe-focused team. I don't want to see Real Madrid turn into a PSG. We need the 23-24 season because the team had adaptability. Everybody contributed to a goal, and that is a team to be feared. Big up Guillermo with the super chat. Dave, what are you saying about that?
I think that Mbappe as a player, I'm not saying to be the focus, but he needs to get the same amount of goals he got last season. Because in terms of his job, he did it. But was it at the expense of players such as Vinny? Yes. Did Vinny have a tendency to sacrifice himself for the greater good? Like, for example, Benzema did with Cristiano Ronaldo. Benzema contributed a lot to the team with Cristiano Ronaldo, sacrificing himself in terms of that final pass or that final threaded through ball or that pass across the box just to give a better scoring opportunity. And Mbappe did that. He's tucked it away. Yes, it took him time to get going. Imagine if he started like that in the beginning of the season. It'd have been crazy. But I want to see Vinny flourish a bit more because we know the talent that Vinny has. We know he's such a great player. And he hasn't got the flair of Brazilian players of old. I know he's not really that kind of player. But what he does have is, like you said before, that directness, that quickness, that explosiveness that we don't have in any other player, probably apart from Mbappe, who likes to just run straight, run in straight lines. And sorry, but the game is pace and power these days. A lot of teams play with that pace and power. We've seen, obviously, apart from PSG, where you have, obviously, Dembele, you have Doué, and you have Kvaratskhelia, who also is very technically gifted. And then you have a mixture of players in the midfield, like Vitinha, who can work the ball. And I'm not saying to replicate PSG, because PSG was just superb this last season. We just got to call it as it is. Superb under Luis Enrique. And Luis Enrique likes to build his teams around slightly technically gifted, but also with that pace element that can really hit teams and have a variety. And if we have a variety in our team, well, we have Vinny with the explosiveness, we have Mbappe with the explosiveness, but we have our technically gifted players like Arda Güler that can work it. Valverde with that very physicality with Jude in the midfield. Trent with the eye of a needle pass that he can thread it to anybody. And I could see Vinny just making a run 100 miles an hour and Trent just picking him out of thin air. You see, I could see that happening. But that's what we need to break a team down like Barcelona, where Trent has the ball and he just scans the pitch and then straight away a ball, straight away to Mbappe. You see, we didn't have that last year. Yeah. Which player last year, apart from a couple of times Asensio done an over-the-top through ball, or Bellingham done that?
Yeah, I mean,
what players
like,
do that?
And again, it does go back to like the Toni Kroos situation. We just didn't have any. Like, how many times when Kroos was here, for example, you'll see Carvajal making that overlapping run, and then you got Kroos that finds him every time. Last season, Carvajal's making that run, nobody's finding him. So again, that profile is needed. That's why I think we're not done in the summer window. I think that the Club World Cup is going to be an opportunity to see what exactly we're missing with Xabi's tactics, and that'll tell us more. But just until we actually see the games played, we're only going to speculate on what we think we're going to need,
Yeah.
depending on what. So, yeah, we need that deep line playmaker. I think that we also need a Joselu profile off the bench. And then we do need to address either the left back, left wing back. And like I said to you earlier, bro, I don't know if Alvaro Correas is the guy. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and haggle with Benfica. Benfica are a very good selling club. They're not going to let him go for anything less than his release clause. Real Madrid are not going to want to pay 50 million. So why not just move on? Because now it's cost us not going into this tournament with a left back.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be Franco. But at the same time, I am excited to see Aguado from the academy, to see Yusuf get an opportunity, because maybe one of those guys are the answer. Yeah. And then we don't need to go spend money. So, you know, it'll be interesting. But now, I mean, like, the team still just needs so much more work, bro.
You know what? I'm going to say it as it is. Yeah. If Mendy was fit, if he was a fit player and doesn't get injured consistently, the situation is that he would be a really good left wing back. Mendy, Ferland
wing back.
Yeah, he would be a good wing back. He would be, because
I think he'd be a good left-sided center back in a back three, but a wing. Ferland Mendy wing back, Dave.
Yeah, he will be. Because
we're talking about the same player here, bro.
You know why? Because I think personally, Mendy defensively, he actually has good attributes. Obviously, injuries,
he's a beast defensively.
Yeah, he's a beast defensively. But the situation is that sometimes in attacking, he doesn't offer so much. When you have wing backs, I could go as far as saying that Mendy would be a left wing back that wouldn't really bomb up front continuously. He would stay back and provide some element of.
So make it a back four.
To make it a back four in rotation, when, like I said earlier, how Alonso likes to play his team, he likes to rotate sometimes, and not rotate in terms of player. I'm talking about how the players move around the pitch, depending on which side of the ball is on. Because if the ball's on the right-hand side, then I want the left wing back to be just a little bit pinned back, so we don't allow a team to counterattack. The weaknesses of a three at the back.
But then you would have the left center mid covered.
Yeah. Mendy offensively is trash. I know he is.
So he can't be a wing back then.
Yes, but the situation is that he does have the defensive IQ
to
be great in the defensive area. You see, because when we're pinned back,
play a back four then. Because again, like, Mendy should be starting for me, right? Depending on if we get a left back or not. I like to see Mendy in, like, the bigger matches. So, like, against Barcelona, I feel like out of our fullbacks, he's the best defensive.
I mean, Camavinga has the legs to be a left wing back. He does. He's full of energy.
But like left wing back. But we're talking about, because Camavinga is also good going forward. And the thing is, like, Camavinga to me is more of an 8 than a 6 because of how good he is on the ball. Like, Camavinga's ball progression is fantastic. Like, so yes. I think Camavinga left wing back, maybe have him invert as well. It could work. But with how Xabi Alonso likes to play, Ferland Mendy would die as a wing back, bro. Because like the wing backs, if you look at Leverkusen, right, you had Jeremy Frimpong right wing back, then you had Grimaldo left wing back. Both of them were very much involved in the attack, right, with providing width and crossing the ball and inverting, linking up play. Ferland Mendy does not give whoever's on that left, which is Vinicius, he doesn't give them an option. Because the guy is not a threat. So in a Xabi system, I can't see him be. For me, Mendy's role would be more so left-sided center back. I feel like he can do a good job.
I've got to say something about Fran Garcia though.
And
it's a nail. It's a thorn in my side. Attacking wise, he's excellent. Yeah, he's crossing ability, good, everything like that. So. If he is a left wing back, I could see teams literally stretching that left hand side, and it's a problem because defensively you need to have also left wing backs that are good defensively as well. You can't just have a left wing back that loves to attack continuously, because the whole point of a left wing back is to create that back five when we are defending, and Ferland Mendy is naturally better than Fran Garcia. That 100%, we know that. So defensive wise, Sometimes you just need to have great wing backs. Look at Inter, how they play. Look how
Yeah.
they play with their wing backs and how they consistently bomb up continuously. But they're very good defensively as well. Of course, they didn't show it in the final. But when they were playing against Barcelona, they were waiting for Barcelona to make a move, and then Inter ping it to the wings. That's how they played. Inter don't have better players than Real Madrid. Let's just get it straight.
Yeah.
But what they did is they had a tactician that knows when Barcelona overcommit, the wing backs are pinned on the wings. They are ready to launch. Yeah, as soon as we get the ball. So Real Madrid, I hope they do the same. But Alonso's not like that. Alonso, what he does, likes to have a maintain more attack-minded, but has an element of possession to the game, has a bit of freedom of movement with the players. And you saw it with Leverkusen, yeah, especially in that invincible winning season, how they played. Yeah, and they got absolutely pumped in the final. I know that, but by Atalanta. But the situation is when you saw them play, they had so much freedom of movement in that midfield area. The wing backs are just continuously working it forward, working it backwards, working it forwards, and just continuously rotating on the pitch. Freedom of movement. So we need to have players that can execute that freedom of movement. Naturally, Franco Garcia is better in attacking areas. Naturally, Mendy is better in defensive areas. So you just got to have Alonso who's going to come up with, okay, Trent is not the best defensive-minded player.
Yep.
So are we going to have two wing backs that are horrid defensively?
No. I mean, but okay, but it doesn't have to be horrid defensively, but it does have to be a player that is a bit more attack-minded, but can also, hold his own in like a 1v1.
Trent is not horrid. Trent is not horrid defensively. I didn't mean it like that. But
what
I mean is that he is not Carvajal level defensively. So you're saying that because Carvajal doesn't have, I don't think the how can I say it, the stamina levels at where he is at in his career to execute a right wing back role. No way. Yeah, rather play a forward at the back and play Carvajal right back and play Mendy left back. Yeah, but where does that leave Huijsen? Where does that leave Asensio? Where does that leave Rudiger?
That's up to the manager to figure out.
Exactly.
That's why you bring in somebody that's not just eyebrow raises and vibes. You know what I'm saying? This is why you bring in a tactician.
Yeah,
Xabi have a plan. Again, look, we don't really know. And that's why, and we'll talk about the Al Hilal game a lot more next Monday on Dave's channel. But that's why it's so important. Like this game for me, I haven't.
It's an opener. It's an eye opener. It's an eye opener into the.
It's going to tell me a lot, but at the same time, he's only had a week of training. So I think what I want to see is a system. I'm not saying that we have to go out there and beat Al Hilal 5-4-0. No. I'm not expecting that. Honestly, I want to see a system. I want to see the vision on what he's trying to do. And then, of course, I want to win the game. But I don't really care if it's like a dominant win. As long as I'm seeing something different than what I saw from the past season. But, Dave, I do want to ask you, bro. I know we talked about the new signings, but let's kind of circle back real quick to Trent. What you think about like his press conference and him speaking Spanish and the Scousers, like they're crying. They're saying that he was on Duolingo. And another question, and I'll let you go. I know that you speak Spanish. Now me, I don't speak Spanish. Dave, I've been taking Spanish since like I was like 6 in school. Never paid attention. I could say like, hola, ¿cómo estás? Like jugo de manzana for apple juice. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I speak a little Spanish. But so aside from, his press conference, I also want to know how good was his Spanish as somebody that speaks both? Like, do you think that he's been practicing for years?
I think Trent, because you know what? I think the best thing you can try to do is to learn it to a decent level, just to learn all the basic commands in football. And if Trent could do that, then Trent can do that, hopefully. Yeah, because I'm sure Bellingham is, and Bellingham, I think, is good. Is pretty decent now in Spanish.
Yeah. I've seen him give an interview in Spanish.
Exactly. So Trent, I think he's going to go into that same level because you learn the basic commands, you learn when to shoot, you learn when to pass, you learn to give and goals, all that stuff. But a lot of the players, I'm sure, especially the English-speaking players, it's a lot of multinational stuff going in Real Madrid. Yeah. A lot of the players speak Spanish, a lot of the players speak English, and it just mixes up and flows nicely anywhere on the pitch. But let's be honest. Language is not a barrier. If you're a technically gifted footballer like Trent is, I don't think it's going to be a barrier for him. Trust me in this one.
And are you like super fluent, right? Like you can like fully speak it, right?
I'm Spanish to an advanced to fluent level. I'm not
because I mean, look, because like DM is saying that Trent speaks better Spanish than you. I mean, like, because I've heard Dave speak Spanish, and it did throw me off. Like, I didn't know that you, like, had like Spanish heritage. I just thought that you were from the UK. So like when you were in Spain, I'm thinking, okay, well, he's moving to be closer to the. I didn't know that you actually had a connection there.
Yeah, I'm half Spanish. My mom is Spanish. My mom's from Tenerife, so
okay, dope.
I wasn't brought up speaking Spanish because my parents spoke English to each other. So when I go to Tenerife, it's a must to speak. I live in Madrid, so it's a must to speak Spanish. So those kind of different things, you need to do it. And
so it's not like English friendly there. So if I went to Madrid, what I'd have to be on
you're done, mate. If you go to Madrid and try to speak English, you are. Yeah. Estás loco? Are you crazy, mate? You're not gonna speak. You're not gonna go and try and speak English in.
So I can't go in there like like a little bit of both. Like, hola, my name is Will. Let me get some French fries. They'd be like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, habla conmigo en español, and then we'll see after. Okay. I just said speak with me in Spanish, and then learn it. Yeah, and then we'll go to Madrid.
Yeah, you know what it is, bro. Like as a kid, I don't know. I just never. I'm like, bro. Like I'm in America. What am I learning Spanish for? Like, bro, I'm like 6 years old. They talking about writing Espanol, and I'm like, bro, I'm not doing that. Like, what? But you know how like when you're younger, like you're like ignorant kind of to like different things. Yeah. I feel like looking back at it now, I definitely would have paid a lot more attention in school to learn it. And then like what's crazy, bro. So my mom, right? I'm Guyanese. So it's a country in South America, right?
Yeah.
You know how they're in South America they speak Spanish in most of the countries. Brazil speaks like Portuguese, brother. Yeah. The country that we're from, the only one that speaks English. So I didn't even grow up with a second language being spoken around me, bro. It's just basic English.
It's simple.
Yeah, bro. It sucks. But I mean, back to Trent, like, do you think he's a snake? I'm just curious. Like,
no.
I don't get it. He didn't join a rival. I don't consider Liverpool rivals.
He's speaking good Spanish. Yeah, he speaks good Spanish. But the situation is, I think maybe he's been learning about it. Obviously, we knew about Trent's talks and everything going along with Real Madrid for a very long time. It wasn't secret news. It's like, oh, he signed for Real Madrid. No, it's not secret. He's been doing that for a long time. So we just need to kill it now. And obviously, if we face Liverpool next year, then so be it. Let's see in the Champions League. Let's see how Trent performs against there. All I want Trent to do is let his feet do the talking on the pitch. I don't want to know about Spanish. I want to know about him. He needs to just prove what kind of player he is. Forget the language barrier. Forget about the Liverpool fans. Forget about the Scouts fans. Forget about everything that Liverpool has to come at Real Madrid. Of course, Trent, Bellingham, we got the connect there already. We know what they're doing. We know how they're going to play. Let them just talk it on the pitch, and that's it. Simple.
Yeah. So were you watching when Beckham was here?
Beckham's Spanish was absolutely... Ay, Dios mi madre.
Well, to be fair, right? Horrible. Trent did more Spanish in his press conference than Bale did in about like 8 years, bro. So I mean, wait, but let me ask you a question, bro.
Bale was different.
And I'm saying, like, how was David Beckham for us? Like, do you think that Xabi Alonso can unlock Trent to have him doing something similar in terms of like his passing ability, the free kicks?
Well, you know what? But when Beckham was there as a player, he wasn't really the star on the pitch. Let's just call it as it is, because you had Zizou then. Zizou was more of the star. You had Ronaldo Nazario, R9 there. You see, playing obviously with well, a string of managers then, obviously. And then you had Figo, and then we had all the usual suspects, the absolute, just say horrible players coming in, Gravison and bloody Jonathan Woodgate, and all these guys. And for me, when I was watching Real Madrid back then with the so-called Galacticos, we did absolutely horrendously, until Schuster came in as a manager and really steadied the ship, especially in that later period where Barcelona were, I don't know where Barcelona were in that phase, honestly. After they won the Champions League, they went into a lull phase where they didn't really perform to the best of their ability. Real Madrid started recruiting a lot of Dutch players, including Robben and Van der Vaart and all these different types of players. And we started playing decently well. And I think Beckham and his legacy in terms of Real Madrid, not going down as one of the greatest of all time, nowhere near, but his passing range was absolutely spectacular. I remember the pass that Beckham gave to Zidane. Oh, I can't remember who it was against, but honestly, one of the best passes you ever see in your life. Zidane, absolute beauty of a left-footed strike, into the bottom of the goal, and was absolutely sensational. But Trent, that's what I want to see him doing with Vinny.
But that's what I think. So I always said, yo, Trent,
he's got the ability. He's got the ability.
He's gonna look like David. He's gonna look like prime David Beckham.
And guys, let me tell you something.
Bend it like Trent.
We have a free kick specialist finally.
And Franco is here.
He is there as well. He is there as well. But Trent is my guy, mate.
Yeah.
Trent needs to be the guy for it, because we've been struggling. Obviously, Valverde absolutely battering shots all over the place with his free kick ability. I remember when we were down and out against Valladolid, it was like 0-0, and then Valverde just went boom, take this, obviously deflected, but it went in. But yeah, I think Franco, his free kick ability is excellent. I've seen that. Trent also free kick ability amazing. We just need to have a dedicated set piece taker, because I don't want to see us mixing and matching.
Exactly. And I want Xabi to make the decision. I hate the players decide. So like, what are we paying you for then? Like, so if the players decide, then what the hell are you doing here? Like, this is your job. You go in there, Trent, you're on free kicks. Arda, you'll take the corners on the right side. You will take the like on pens. It's Mbappe. Like Mbappe, it's you.
I don't want to see Vinny taking pens anymore. Sorry.
Vinicius this past season with the pens. Nah, but Mbappe missed a couple of them too.
He did. Yeah, he did.
And then Jude missed one, I think.
Yeah, but
it was like, bro.
We needed a dedicated penalty specialist to do that.
It has to be Mbappe, though.
It has to be Mbappe. Yeah, it has to be Mbappe. But also, I remember his funny story, because when Beckham and Roberto Carlos were the same time at the team, and they were deciding who's going to take the free kick depending on where it is. And if you see the extra long range free kicks, you would always see Roberto Carlos take them. But then when you would see close range free kicks, who needs a bit more finesse to the free kick, then you would see David Beckham take it. So Trent, I seen Franco, his free kicks long range are spectacular as well. So him, if they can decide, but I don't think Franco's going to be starting. So it's going to be Trent who's going to be doing the set pieces. And that I think Xabi Alonso has to make the decision.
Nah. Look, fair enough. So look, Dave, before we wrap up, bro, I ask you a question. So I became a Madrid fan 2014, right? Yeah. That's the first year I ever watched football. Because in America, it's not, or it's a lot more popular now. But back then, if it wasn't like NFL or NBA, at least in my household, we not watching it. 2014 World Cup comes around, right? And I see James Rodriguez. And you guys know that World Cup was amazing. I thought at that time, James was the best player in the world. Yeah, he goes to Real Madrid.
Amazing. Yeah, and
So he goes to Real Madrid. At the time, it was like the third most expensive transfer, I think, like 80-something million. Point is, I had no idea that Real Madrid were this big, right? But I'm like, yo, James is there, best player in the world. You call me a bandwagon, whatever. I was like, yeah, that's my team. So I want to ask you a question about James, right? Because I feel like I still struggle with forgiving Zidane with how James, his time went at the club.
Yeah.
I just want to know, how do you rate James Rodriguez as a player? Like, what did you think? Because that's one of my GOATs. Like, I will never forget how he changed my sporting life by getting me into this sport. So I just want to know your James thoughts, and then we'll wrap up.
For me, I think technically he had everything on paper.
Yeah.
Club level, it's tough to say. He couldn't really deliver for Real Madrid. I think
that first
pressure. I think the pressure on his shoulders got too big for him. But honestly, technically, one of the super gifted as an attacking midfielder, super gifted. You know, I think he was excellent. But we've seen a few players struggle. We've seen a few players struggle over the years. We've seen Kaká struggle at Real Madrid because obviously most of the limelight was on Cristiano Ronaldo. And we've seen players even before that. Like I just remember like a lot of players coming to Real Madrid struggling because the weight of the boots is too much for them to fill. So if I'm just alluding to Trent here just a little bit, he's the next big thing to feature in Real Madrid. He needs to prove himself within 15 games. Otherwise, the fans are going to start booing him. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. Now, like, Trent's not going to get the kind of backing that he would have gotten if he stayed. Because, Liverpool, you're one of their own. You come through the academy. He's not going to get protected like that here. Nah, absolutely not.
Yeah, but obviously James was a decent player. You know what I mean? One of the most disrespected players in Real Madrid's history is Gareth Bale. Yeah? I got him. I got him on the wall, mate. I got him on the wall, mate. Him, definitely one of the most disrespected players, in Real Madrid's history.
Do you think Bale was disrespected?
He was, from the fans' perspective, he was disrespected. Absolutely, the fans disrespected him. Yeah,
okay, but is that more so like the Spanish fans, or you think just in general?
Because obviously he's had his tendency with golf and everything, and Zidane really didn't favor him as a player. Zidane actually didn't favor a lot of players. Yeah, that's the problem. But for him to do the run in the Champions League that he did as a manager will always go down, and Zidane will always gain respect as a manager and as a player for Real Madrid fans. So I think Bale. I think his time ran short. I think he fell off, obviously, after constant disrespect in terms of his way and how he was treated. Obviously, maybe the lifestyle got to him as well. But I think he is. He's one of my players that I would love to see in his prime again. You know.
Yeah. I mean, so like, real quick, who's your favorite player that you've watched for the club?
Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Heart says heart. There's a lot, man. There's a lot. I'm going back 30 years here. Top 5 probably would be Redondo, Raul. I love Makaleli as well. Such a brilliant player. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
I've just got to put him in there because look at the amount of goals that he scored. You can't.
It's ridiculous.
This guy here, mate.
R9. Yeah. R9.
My guy, my goal of all time.
That's your goal.
That's my goal. Yeah.
That's your goal. Okay.
That's my goal. That's my best player, my favorite player of all time in the history.
Of all time,
yeah. Because he brought something that was crazy. Redondo. Who did I say? I said Redondo. I said Raul. I said Ronaldo. Two Ronaldos.
Yep.
And finally, the last one has to be Iker Casillas.
Ooh, Casillas.
Yeah, Casillas is my guy. Ramos can fit into that as well, to that mold as well.
I think so.
Fernando Hierro can fit into that top 5 if he scrapes by. Makaleli can fit into that. There's so many players, mate. Sanchez.
It's so much to pick from.
Yeah. You know, so all these players, Modric. Hey, let's just forget about retirement. Modric, man. Modric can fit into that. Toni Kroos can fit into that.
Real quick, Dave. I don't like the fact that we're letting Modric leave. I don't like that. Why couldn't Modric stay as more of like a player coach? Because he was willing to take lesser wages and lesser playtime just to be there for one more season, do the World Cup, then retire. Why couldn't we give him that? I think when you have Xabi Alonso coming in, brand new manager, you have Luka Modric that can help embed in his system and then get the players to buy in and whatnot. Because Modric is a player. When he speaks, you shut up and listen. So I just don't like the fact, because he is going to go to AC Milan. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet, but
yeah, he's looking that way.
Yeah, but I just don't like that, bro. Like,
you know what? Do you know what, Modric? Yeah, I've got to say, I wanted him to stay with the Club World Cup. I really wanted him to stay. I don't care. I don't care if he just stayed one more season.
He'll be here for the Club World Cup.
I mean, after the Club World Cup. Sorry, I wanted to say after the Club World Cup, even the preseason, to carry on one more. But we keep on saying one more. Hey, Luka Modric is not Ric Flair here, people. Yeah, he's not Ric Flair, mate. He's not going to come back and just do another retirement match, or Shawn Michaels and come back and do another retirement match. Yeah, this is not him. But I think he needs to go to. I want to say a league, because Serie A is actually quite good now. It's decent. It's good to watch. But he needs to go to a league that's a bit more easy on him, I think, in terms of demands and expectations. Because Modric, he's not going to play. He's not going to be first team. Let's be honest, under Alonso, he's not going to be first team football. Yeah? So I would love to see Modric to stay here and make impact as a substitute, maybe 70th minute, bring in him if we need somebody with that little bit of experience, that little bit of Champions League know-how. Because we saw Modric when he came on, and Arda Güler when they came on against Barcelona, when Ancelotti made that substitute 55th minute, I think it was, Copa del Rey final. Yeah? They both came on, and it was a different Real Madrid. Modric was going in, flying into tackles, passing the ball accurately. And when you need that player in that instance to pass the ball and consistently keep it moving and keep it ticking in the pitch, Modric is your guy, you know? And I think he'd be just such a good leader for a guy like Arda Güler, who wants to create a long and fruitful career in that position. So him leaving, you know what, maybe it's the best decision for him, but I think the one more season, this drags on too long. Let him go. Give him a nice life. And you know what? One of the GOATs of all time in Real Madrid history. Absolute sensational player. I remember the goal that he scored against Manchester United in the Champions League. Oh, what a goal. Yeah, what a goal he scored there. That guy was honestly, such a beautiful player to watch on the pitch. Just graceful, and him, Cruz, always go down as one of the best midfield duos you would ever see in football. With Casemiro as well, when he was featured in that team, was just sometimes unbeatable in midfield.
Yeah. Now look, fair enough, bro.
I cried, mate. I cried, bruv. I cried.
Oh wait, like during his last
the last match when he embraced Cruz, bruv. I cried, bruv.
Crazy. That was a very good send off.
I'm not too much of an emotional guy in football, but I tell you what, the only times I cried, mate, is when Zidane scored his volley against Leverkusen in the Champions League final, and that there, it's the only time I cried in football. I never cried anywhere else, and when Spain won the World Cup, that's another time as well.
Yeah. Okay. So you know who I kind of felt bad for though, right? Because like Lucas Vazquez was leaving. That was Lucas Vazquez's last game at the Bernabeu. Jesus Vallejo, that was his last game at the Bernabeu. And nobody gave a fuck.
Vallejo, bruv. I tell you what, Vallejo. He that guy, mate. I tell you what, when he scored, oh man, it was just so comical.
Yo, how has he managed a decade at the club? A decade, bro. Like
man like Vazquez, you know. I just, do you know what? Yeah, do you know what? I done a video, and I was like, yeah, like Ancelotti, legend, mate, legend in the game. Yeah, Modric, legend in the game. I forgot. I was like, Vazquez, I said it on video. I was like, he's no legend of mine, mate.
Yeah, you know the thing is, bro, people think that longevity makes you a legend, right? Like Lucas Vazquez was a great servant of the club.
Yes,
like Nacho, a great servant of the club.
No,
These
Nacho,
guys are not
Nacho,
legends.
Nacho. He's not legend, but he's
But like,
closer
bro,
to there than Vasquez.
but like when they retire, they can always come back to Real Madrid. They will always be embraced because they did good stuff for the club. But being a backup rotational player for 15 years does not make you a legend. But you know, you still have.
Yeah.
But look, but it was actually
Hey,
crazy.
man like Vasquez, bro. I tell you, that guy, man. The amount of times I cussed him out, mate, during the season. The amount of times I cooked that guy. After we lost, I forgot which game it was.
Yeah.
I think it was AC Milan. I think it was. Yeah.
Oh my God, yo, Rafael Leao was looking like Neymar against us.
No,
bro.
No, it wasn't. It was. No, it was in this after the Super Cup final because I called the Saudi Arabian police live on air. Go back to it, yeah. I called the Saudi Arabian police. I said, "Hey," the guy actually picked up the phone, yeah, and I couldn't stop laughing because I was about to call the Saudi Arabian police on Lucas
No way.
Vasquez to terminate his passport at the bloody airport. It was mad, mate. Mate, the amount of times I crashed out over Lucas Vasquez, it is absolutely unprecedented. But do you know what? He gave me a lot of fun times and he gave me a lot of miserable moments because that guy cannot defend to save his life. God help us all. If I ever see him, yeah, in football, please let it be in like MLS or Saudi Arabia or something. Just send him far away. I don't want to see him. But you know what? He was here for a long time. He was put into a position that he could not play, and he just tried to serve it as best as he could. That's all I can say. And in hindsight, sometimes you look at that, but when you're in the moment and you see a match and you see him literally at the front of the pitch, his head's down and they're attacking and he's still head down and he doesn't even look back and he doesn't track back. I can't stand it. Do you know what? When I forgot which match. Oh, against Celta Vigo when the clearance off the line was horrible. Like, what's he doing, man? What's he doing? Like, I don't understand, mate.
Which one? Because like
Celta Vigo
gave us a hard time every single game this season.
Yeah, mate, it's Celta Vigo, mate. It was the last one. It was the last game.
Oh, okay.
The last game, yeah, against Celta Vigo. I think he forgot to clear it off he did try and clear it off the line, but he only went like 5 yards and he didn't clear it off the line, man. I just blame Luke. Do you know what? When we lose, it's no agenda, but when we lose, yeah, I'm always looking to Lucas Vasquez.
Like, yo, I don't know what the hell's going on, but fucking Lucas Vasquez, man, get him off. Get him off.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm looking at my notes here during the match. So, guys, when I do match reactions, I always write notes. So put certain points during the match that
do you write notes?
I actually write notes.
Bro,
I
just turn on my camera.
Yeah,
10 minutes later, I don't know what the hell I just said.
I write notes on certain points in the match which I'm looking at and I'm saying we could do better here. What's the improvement? And then I mention in the video. Yeah. So I'm writing notes on each point in the match. I'm like, okay, cool. And you see me in my watch along. When I'm starting watch along, you're gonna see me as well. Like when I look down and I'm looking like I'm writing. So I'm looking at it and I'm looking at notes, and then about 75% of the paper is Lucas Vasquez. Literally, mistake here, and that's it. It's simple as that's how it is. He got cooked unprecedentedly. Yeah. So
bro.
He deserves
for a fact
a lovely. He deserves a lovely stinker hooked and adios, Lucas Vasquez. That's what he does.
Yeah. After that Club World Cup, goodbye, brother. Thank you for everything that you've done.
Yeah.
Don't let
I see him training, man. I see him training in the pitch next to Alonso. I'm like, hey, Alonso, bro, you better not put him into this Club World Cup. He might feature. I'm not gonna lie. He might feature into the Club World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, I think
as a wing back, I think he'd be decent. As a wing back, I think he'd be decent.
Like just to keep it like rotating over.
Yeah,
I definitely think that he'll get some minutes. But if he's Dave, if Lucas Vasquez starts a game in that Club World Cup, but barring an injury, if Lucas Vasquez is out there starting in that Club World Cup, I might have a Xabi out stream.
Yeah, I don't know. If Carvajal doesn't fit, if Carvajal is not lifting up their trophy, Lucas Vasquez is lifting up the trophy.
Now, you know what? I wouldn't mind because at least we won it, right? Let him have a nice little. And I think Modric will probably wear the armband in like the final. If it, I
I think so. They'll give it to Modric. Yeah.
But
true,
I don't give a damn who lifts it, as long as you win it. And I do expect to win that. But PSG are the favorites. I'm gonna be honest. Like PSG, like they.
Yeah. Who if Lucas Vasquez and well, I think it's Lucas Vasquez who will wear the armband if he plays, isn't it? It'd be him, isn't it?
So like, I think if both of them start, I think Modric gets it. If it's just Vasquez on the pitch, then I think Vasquez gets it. I think like that's how it is.
Yeah, I think so. But I think it is. Yeah, obviously it's going by seniority and how long they've been there.
Yeah,
it's great. I don't even care, mate. As long as somebody wins, as long as we win it, mate. I don't even toss.
That's what. Hey, look, that prize money could go a long way. You know that Perez is a little stingy, but yo, guys, big up to everybody that's in here, man. Look, great first episode of the Galacticos, bro. We will be back on Monday on Dave's channel. His link is right there in the title. Click that hyperlink, takes you right over. But most of you guys, of course, got to be subscribed to Dave, because if you're not, bro, you live underneath the fucking rock. What's going on here? But look, big up, guys. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. W stream, W chat every single time. This is gonna redirect you guys over to Barca Volume, right? It's my guy. I think he's talking about that scrub Nico Williams, right? Look, we're signing Trent, Dean Huijsen, Franco, right? And these guys are begging for Rashford and Nico Williams. Come on.
I lost it, mate, when we were linked to Nico Williams. Sorry, guys, but that guy,
he's shit.
Bro, he is just the epitome of pace and power.
He's not better than his brother.
Yeah, he's not better than Iñaki. Absolutely not.
He's not better than Iñaki, but nah, bro. Look,
Iñaki Williams is miles better than Nico.
This is why Carlo had to pay for his crimes this season. You letting Barca beat us.
He's a Spanish Doku, basically.
4 straight El Clásicos. 2 of them. Do you know that Barcelona, they've effectively won 3 trophies on our head top? You imagine that? Oh my god. Nah, bro. Look, Xabi Ball is here. All you guys, enjoy what you saw last season, because it's not going to be the same. And last thing that we'll do, big up, guys. Carnage always loves Dave. Big up. Now, look, we appreciate all the support, guys. Again, we will be live on Dave's channel Monday. You guys have a good day. Club World Cup is starting soon. And yo, Hala Madrid, people. Come on.
Hala Madrid,
Carnage Raid. Go ahead, Dave.
What you talking about? Oh, to beat to round it off, yeah.
Well, I mean, because I think you were saying something, but I cut you off. So my fault.
Oh no, all I was gonna say, Hala Madrid nada más, and yeah, we'll see you next time, Monday, lunes, people, Monday, yeah, and we'll see you probably. What's it gonna be? What time is it gonna be? 7 o'clock in the same time.
Yeah. About like 7 your time too, mine. But all right, people, let Barca Volume know. Carnage Raid in a bit, people.
Adios.